Whoa, look at the lift on this thing. Let's go ahead and put it on down. Welcome to United by Trucks. Today, we're putting Accuair in the UBTK5. All right guys, so we showed you our complete Accuair E+ suite of products that we're gonna be putting on UBTK5. Big thanks to Accuair for partnering with us on this build, but we're running the Endo CVT tank, which is a compressor valve tank, all in one. We're gonna show you where we're gonna be mounting that today here in just a minute, but we've got E-Level Plus, we've got their new brain, the e+connect, we've got the e+touchpad, so we've got quite a bit of products that Accuair makes that we're gonna be running on UBTK5. So really quickly, we've been in here, Mike's really been in here trying to figure out how we're gonna mount the tank, what we're gonna do with it. So we're gonna show you these parts just to give you a brief overview. But if you have not checked out the unboxing video where we go through all that Accuair sent over, please check that out down in the description, or I'll link it up above here. So make sure you check that out, and we're gonna show you what we got right here. Tell us a little bit more about what we're using to install this Accuair setup. So lay it out there, Mike.
Accuair has included this really nice template. There's instructions on how to use the template and how to install the whole tank and setup and everything. But what you can do is just take and lay this template right down on wherever you want to mount your tank, and then come in and center punch right through these crosshair marks, and then drill your holes for your mounts, and then it'll be completely perfect, no measuring, no nothing, all set right up. So what we'll do is lay this template down in the back of the Blazer and drill all the holes, mount the tank, and then we'll install our little bulkhead fittings in the floor, and then bend our 3/8 aluminum hard line to the bulkheads, and then raise the vehicle up and continue on going from the bulkheads to the bags. We're gonna vent the exhaust for the tank outside the vehicle, and then we're also gonna vent the intake air for the air compressor outside the vehicle, so that way you don't have any noise from up and down air compressor, nothing inside the vehicle. And we're also going to vent the tank drain outside the vehicle too, because there is a tank drain on this system.
To sum it up, Accuair gives you this awesome template to help you mount the Endo CVT.
And it's like, dude, this thing is like,
it's on some really nice paper.
it's like construction paper.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You could fold it all up and stick it back in your toolbox just in case you ever want to move your tank or something.
That's actually a really good point. I think we'll probably do that. We'll hold on to that in case when we go to use another one of these again. But Mike, because we're hardlining everything out of the tank and under the vehicle to the bags, we're going to be using these trick little 3/8 bulkheads to help get that done. Like I said, not a new thing in airbag, air suspension world, but something I think is really, really cool. So we're gonna get started on this. And like I said, today is purely a mock-up install of this, because we're gonna be gutting the interior and putting all that in and reinstalling the tank. But a lot of this will stay in place. So anyway, we're gonna show you how we install it today, how Mike installs it, and here we go. Mike loves this Endo CVT so much, he just bear hugs it. So one cool thing we noticed is we're getting ready to mock up how we're gonna mount this in the rear. Obviously we'll have carpet and all that stuff in the rear eventually, but if you can see, each little foot fits right on the cargo area of the K5, which is pretty cool. We're gonna mount it right back here behind the seat, run hard line and all through bulkheads down in the back. So yeah, we're gonna get everything mocked up today, show you how this works, and then we're gonna take it all back apart and do the interior.
Yeah, bro.
You like that idea, Mike?
Sounds like a good idea. Home on camera again?
Oh yeah. Looking flawed. Mike got that haircut, son.
Like $387.
Yeah, it's an expensive haircut. Look at the man. Clean. He had to get cleaned up for this Accuair install.
So we got the Accuair tank in here. It's I got all the holes drilled and it's mounted. It's just not tight. I got all the bulkhead fittings in here. The tank drain, you can see it. Drilled a hole, grounded it, run the tank drain down through there. You can see the tank drain here. It's a pretty cool setup. You just push this button, drains the tank. The wiring is mocked up in here. There's other wiring here. So now what I'm going to do is raise the vehicle up, plumb the bottom, you know, from the bulkheads to the bags, and then add the air filter for the inlet, and then we'll build a little tiny mount in here somewhere for the little brain box. Hopefully wrap this up here in a little bit.
Alright guys, so as we told you a little bit about already, we're simply getting this mocked up so that we can get the truck running, get it tuned, obviously have the flexibility of the air management, but we're going to pull all this back out when we do the interior. So Mike is essentially just getting the power run to it, getting the ignition wire run, and basically just getting it to where it'll work now. Obviously this is where the tank is going to be ultimately, but we've got to pull all this back out to put in all the sound deadener from Vibro Solutions and put in the carpet from ACC and USA 1 and do that whole interior setup. So this is simply a solution to get us to Walker Performance Tuning, where we can get this thing tuned, get the exhaust on it, that sort of thing. So we're just giving you guys sort of a behind the scenes look at the Accuair setup, but obviously it's going to look much nicer than this once we get it to that point.
So we got the tank mounted and built all the hardline for it.
Man, the hardline looks killer.
We got the rest of the blazers all plumbed the hardline from front to back now. We're starting to get ready to mock up the wiring. We're going to mock up the brain box, and hopefully here in a couple minutes we'll have it going up and down.
This is a little bit of the good, bad, and ugly. I mean, this is what it takes to get an air management system in a truck that you've got all torn apart. So, especially one that you're going to hardline. So you need to mock everything up beforehand. Or wouldn't you say that, Mike?
Yeah, it's a good idea to mock everything up before you just start throwing it together. And everything in here is just sitting here. None of the bulkheads are tight to the floor. The tank's not tight to the floor, nothing like that. It's just kind of sitting there because we got to pull it all back out to do carpet. Yeah, the Accuair kit is actually really super user friendly. I mean, all the wires are labeled. You got instructions to tell you what every single wire is. So I mean, it's really, really hard to screw up. So
that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
So what's next?
We're gonna run the battery, the positive, and then we're gonna do a couple grounds. And then we're gonna run ignition power, and then we should be good to go.
All right, man. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
So Jeremy's taking it upon himself. We're gonna drill a hole in the floor here to get the power wire down to the battery. Y'all remember the battery's mounted on the side of the frame rail, so we're gonna go right down through.
Right in here, right
in the low, not in the, what do you call that? That'd be in the rib?
Yeah, in the rib, I would say.
In the rib. So that's where we're gonna cut it. So take off, Jeremy.
Cool. Normally I would punch this first. I probably should.
Right. Dude, it's cool. It'll go. If the drill will go.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, where Jeremy's about to install the second grommet because he effed up the first one.
This is exactly what I want.
This is not what I want.
The difference between me and TTR is I'm funny. TTR's just a butthole.
What the heck? No, he's not.
Also leaving that in.
No, he's not.
Wait, are we talking about
No, I'm saying
two trucks run, too many trucks run,
2 ton rod.
2 ton rods. Yeah, you put that in there.
I was like, you're gonna be a jerk, and I'm gonna call you what Phil calls you.
Game on.
I don't know if Howe's Room Garage can support another switch.
Oh,
So
sorry.
try not to lose the switch.
Jeez Louise.
That's a good looking hole you drilled in there.
Thanks, pal.
Is that 11/16?
Maybe.
I think it is. Look right there.
It's a little big. But you know what?
But it's
Gotta
gonna
have
be
it.
fine.
Normally we don't jam the grommet in the hole with a screwdriver, but since Jeremy's volunteering today, we're just gonna let him do what
Hey,
he
so
does.
I'm listening. What's the proper plan?
I'm gonna send you up.
Send me up.
I know everybody's like slap happy. I'm not sure I want to be either one of y'all's friends. Look at all these wires.
How's it look down there?
You saw Jeremy drill a hole in the floor, run the ground power.
Temporary.
And we just got a little temporary ground right here on the side of the battery. What are we doing with the power?
You give me
Michael.
You give me that other temporary battery lug.
I don't have a battery lug.
This is temporary battery
Oh, it's a temporary battery lug. At least it's grade 8 hardware.
Grade 8 battery lug.
Grade 8 battery lug.
Oh my god.
So like I said, all temp mock-up stuff, but what was that? Okay. It's just Jeremy up here. We'll just show you what he's up to. What are you doing up there?
Just hanging out up here.
Messing around with a micro torch.
That's right.
Woo, scary.
Hit that switch.
GSI, upside down.
Can I get out now?
I think you can. You're now back down on the ground.
Good.
Mike, tell them what you're doing right here, man. Because this is awesome.
Yeah, this is custom right here, Mike.
So I'll tell you what Mike's doing. Mike's making a super custom mount for the e+connect right here in this Accuair mock-up setup. Accuair, thanks for the box. We're gonna run that one for sure. We're gonna run that.
Love it.
All right, guys, just want to give you a first glimpse of what this looks like and sounds like. Like I said, we've got a mess back here, but I'm gonna be quiet so you can hear this tank running because I can barely hear it. Just a slight hum. A CVT is cool. Obviously you can see the brain, the e+connect, flashing green. We're gonna switch that over to blue here in just a minute. Mike literally just plugged up the e+touchpad. Show us what that looks like lit up, Mike. Sweet. Mike, bring it to them live from the back of the K5 with the new Accuair Endo CVT, e+connect, e+touchpad. Tell them about it.
Well, it's all wired up now. It's running currently if you can't hear it.
So quiet.
It's super quiet. There's like almost no vibration whatsoever on the unit. Touchpad here displays the compressor running with this flashing C here on the touchpad. It just lets you know the compressor is running because it's so quiet that you can't even actually hear it running. And then you have your up and your down switches. These are red right now because we don't have the height sensors wired in yet. But so the way it's hooked up right now, it's just gonna act like an old switch speed controller. You just hit this and it'll air the vehicle out, and then you can hit your up and down and everything else. But the brain actually flashes green while the compressor is running also. I haven't looked at the owner's manual, but I'm pretty sure there's a way you can either change that or turn it off or whatever. But we just have it temporary wired in here. Make sure we ain't got no leaks on our air system, and then it's gonna go off and get finished wired.
Yeah. You pumped about it, Mike?
I'm pumped, man.
Cool setup, huh?
Yeah, super cool.
Accuair, thanks for making some cool stuff. What are we doing?
What are we doing, Mike? Pushing buttons.
Pushing buttons. What do you have in your hand?
It's E-level plus touchpad.
Ooh.
Ooh, nice. Ooh, look at the back.
Man.
The back's way more impressive.
And we're like a solid, what, 10 or 15 feet from the truck? 10 foot? So, yeah. Yeah. I'll give you all that little sneak peek of that mock-up setup. So there it is, all mocked up. Air this thing up. Whoa, look at the lift on this thing. Let's go ahead and put it on down. Boy, I'll take that any day. And I think the important part is that compressor. That is so quiet. That is incredibly quiet. It's blinking green there on the brain to let you know the compressor's filling up because you may not even hear it. Hey Mike, hit us with a little bit of up. Yeah, let's go front up. Oh yeah. Dump that thing. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in to this episode of United by Trucks. As you can tell, we got the Accuair air management all mocked up. Obviously, we're gonna be taking this back out to do the interior, get that all dialed in, but we got it mocked up, we got it functional so that we can take it up to Walker Performance Tuning and have it tuned and fired up, do the whole deal with that. So really, really pumped to have it at this point. Big thanks to Mike, How's It Doing Garage, Churchill, Wesley, Phil, some of the guys who came over today to help us get it to this point. We're really, really pumped about it. Now, Churchill is gonna show you what it'll do. Man, gotta thank Accuair for that. Cue the music.